Do you remember those goals we set back in January? How are we doing? If you're new here, this is the I'm Bringing Healthy Back podcast. I'm Rachel. It is the beginning of July now, and I thought now is as good a time as any to do a mid-year review and possibly reset of our goals and just kind of check in to see how we're doing. Do we need to pivot? Have we pivoted without really taking much notice, and to give ourselves some grace if we haven't done what we wanted to do, and maybe give us some encouragement, some motivation, some determination, and work on some discipline to do what we really want to do, because I'm sure there was a really good reason that you set those goals you did, and it's the same thing for me. And at the beginning of the year, I'm looking back, have them written down at the beginning of my planner, and I called them standards because goals are kind of lofty seeming. Standards are something you hold yourself to. And let's be honest, I have not been perfect, but we'll talk about what I had planned, we'll talk about what I've done, and we'll talk about maybe what I'm hoping to do, how I plan to move forward into this second half of the year. So I had daily, weekly, and monthly standards. So I wanted daily to be in my Bible, to vacuum and Swiffer, and to take care of the dishes and wash anything that's in the sink that doesn't go in the dishwasher. So being in my Bible every day has been a pretty consistent thing, whether it's reading, doing my daily devotional, or listening to the Bible on my way to work on audio. And that has been, I'm happy that I have consistently stayed in God's Word to some degree or another every day. And that's important to me, having a relationship with Jesus. And then vacuuming. So this is related to the couch because my dog is not in her kennel during the day. And so she is on the couch. And that means that her fur is on the couch. And if I don't vacuum for one day, it's like I have to vacuum extra the second day just because it builds up so easily. And so I've been pretty consistent with that. And it's not I don't have visitors coming every day. So it's not that big of a deal if I miss a day and I need to, if I'm busy one evening and have to wait till the next day to prioritize it. And then Swiffering. So this was not in the plan, but was it January, February? I think it was January because either way, I got a robot vacuum. Now, this has been such a help. Now, I don't have a huge house, and so Swiffering, I don't have any carpet either. So Swiffering doesn't take forever, but it's still 20 minutes that I could be recording a podcast, that I could be taking care of the dishes. It's just something that I wanted to buy back some of my time. And so I first got, it was a Eufy Slim one, and it fit under all my furniture, and it was amazing. However, it did not have mapping. And so it's been like an hour in my living room because it didn't know where it was going. And so I decided to return him. Thankfully I could. And I got one robot vacuum that does have mapping, and it was possibly the slimmest one with mapping that I could find that was in the price range I wanted to stay in. And so I have a RoboVac, and I run it every day, and it's great. I'm very grateful that I have that. And it picks up a lot more dog hair than Swiffering did, and a lot more of the fine like sand or dirt that I bring in, or that the dog brings in. So it doesn't get under my couch or under my dresser or into the corners, but I would have had to get kind of into the corners with the Swiffer anyway. So daily, I've been doing really good on Bible, vacuuming the couch, and cleaning the floors. Now, sink and dishes, I have slacked on because my bad habit is things that don't go in the dishwasher, like my glass or silicone straws or wooden spoons or whatever else doesn't go in the dishwasher, I leave in the sink. And it's relatively few things, but they're in there. I'm not going to tell you how long. A week. This is a judgment-free zone, okay? I'm not proud of this. I'm not advocating for this. This is just the reality. And honestly, I just need to take the 10 minutes every evening. Okay, this is looking forward. I need to take the 10 minutes every evening and just wash those few dishes. Literally, it takes more mental energy to think about it and think about how much I'm dreading it than if I were to just like cut those thoughts, go in the kitchen and wash the dishes. But here we are. Okay. Have not done great. I did pretty good at the beginning of the year, maybe for a week or two, maybe a month at the most. But we have fallen off the bandwagon. So that one we can work on going forward. Then weekly, my goals for weekly were 3 workouts a week, cleaning the bathroom once a week, changing my sheets weekly, 1 video/podcast, and meal planning. So 3 workouts. I haven't been being as consistent as I want to be. And this comes down to a few things. Now, I would like to go to the gym every Saturday and Sunday morning. I have kept myself in a state of not getting upset about this because I want to be better about going to the gym. And I've been a lot better about getting workouts in at home. But there's been a lot of weeks where I just am struggling to do anything. I take the dog for a walk every day, so I am staying active. I ebb and flow between doing like 20 to 30 minute at home like resistance training workouts with dumbbells, and then 20 to 30 minute at home yoga workouts. And so that has been good. I haven't completely stopped working out because I like working out, and I've ebbed and flowed between morning workouts that lasted 1 or 2 weeks, evening workouts, which I tend to be more consistent with, weekends. I have been really bad about going to sleep at a decent hour because I lack the discipline to just not scroll on my phone. But it's like I want that wind down time where I'm doing absolutely nothing except absolutely rotting for like an hour before I go to bed. And that's just not the reality. If I want to get my cleaning done, if I want to get my content done, if I want to get my workout in, if I want to blah, 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 I don't have that rot time. And so I think what really needs to happen is not watching TV in the evenings, especially like specifically during the week, not scrolling on my phone. And I really want to create more than I consume as someone who has 2 YouTube channels. And so I'm hoping now as I'm speaking to you, like this is the most like frustrated I've felt with myself in a little while, and you are slightly experiencing it, is I want to read more. I want to go to bed earlier because I have a hard time getting up in the morning, and that just, it frustrates me. And so because I'm not going to bed early enough, I have a really hard time getting up early. And then on the weekends is when I am just naturally making up time sleeping or catching up on my sleep. And so I'm not getting up early enough in the morning to go to the gym and work out in the morning before I have obligations Saturday morning, Sunday morning. And then Saturday afternoons, I don't have the free time to go to the gym. And then Sunday afternoons, I'm usually like catching up on chores and content. And I could absolutely go to the gym on Sunday afternoons. I just have a harder time taking myself in the afternoon versus the morning. And so in this moment, this is going to be a teachable moment. If you are frustrated with what is going on in your life right now, things that you can control, let's work together to encourage one another to stop putting up with yourself, because we are wasting time on our phones scrolling. We are wasting time watching TV, and life is busy. Like, you have relationships, you have jobs, you have friends, family. This is all in relationships. You have chores, you have responsibilities. And so if you want more, if you want to create content, if you want to start your own business, if you want to grow outside of just your little structure that you've created for yourself, if you're someone who wants more than that, we have to stop wasting time on stuff that is not bringing value to you or to other people. So, with that being said, This can be one of two things. This could be drastic change overnight, but if this is going to be drastic change overnight, you got to stick with it. It also can be small changes over time. Okay? This can be going to bed 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, like slowly going to bed earlier, slowly turning off your phone and your screens. This could be substituting books for screen time. This could be substituting podcasts for screen time. I find it easier to turn off a podcast than a TV show. I find it easier to turn off an audiobook or close a book compared to turning off the TV or scrolling on your phone. And so very small things. If you are feeling the energy right now and you're like, I want change, I want better for me so that I can serve other people better in whatever that way may be, leave some comments on what are some small or big changes you want to implement, and everyone else can go cheer everyone on in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, leave a comment. Cleaning the bathroom every week, I've been relatively consistent. If you guys, this is like probably the most consistent I've ever been in my life. If you watch my vlogs on this channel, if you're watching on YouTube, I record like usually like a Friday evening or a Sunday afternoon, once a week. I record like a productive cleaning vlog. And so that has kept me a little bit accountable to cleaning my bathroom once a week. Changing my sheets, usually once a week. Especially if I'm showering in the morning versus the evening, I try to be more consistent about once a week. If I'm doing like workouts at night and I shower before I go to bed, I might do once a week, might do every other week. I always change my pillowcase a lot more frequently though. Doing one video or podcast a week, that's really related to this channel. And so I've done pretty well because, where was it? I had a pivot moment related to my goals a couple months ago where last year, 2024, I had attempted to do a podcast every day. It might have been short, it might have been 5 minutes, it might have been 20 minutes, depending on the day, depending on what I had to say. And I realized like I hadn't given you guys a podcast, and I'm like, this is what I'm passionate about. I want people to heal their relationship with food and their body image. And this is a little bit of a different video today, but it's a lot about just like bettering your life in different aspects. And one of them is like holding yourself accountable for your goals. So I decided, okay, one podcast every day is a little overwhelming with everything I have going on right now, but let's shoot for once a week. It could be a 5-minute podcast once a week, but I really put a lot more emphasis on that. And then I was also doing at least one vlog, like at least once a month. Sometimes it was once a week, sometimes it was every other week. The vlogging is more for fun. This podcast is what is a lot more important to me because I think it serves you guys better. And so I think I've stuck really well to at least one video / podcast a week. I kept that number lower because I knew that if I set the bar too high, I would tend to get overwhelmed and then I just wouldn't post anything. So I'm like, one video a week is super achievable for this channel. And then meal planning. I've been doing a lot better with that. I go to the grocery store once a week. I've been doing an Aldi pickup order. And so before I do that, I'm like, okay, I need to make at least 3 meals a week. And so I decide, okay, am I making fajitas? Am I making gyros? Am I making creamy Tuscan chicken pasta? Okay, make sure you have the ingredients for all 3 of those recipes. And then any snacks you're going to need for during the week, fruits, veggies, oats, whatever it may be. And so that has been very helpful. I would recommend. So we talked about my daily goals. Those are my weekly goals. And now for my monthly goals. I have my other YouTube channel is Recipes with Ray. And as you may know or may be able to tell, recipes. I post recipe videos. And so I wanted to do 2 to 4 recipes a month. And I have been really consistent about in the 4 recipes a month. So that's 1 a week. And that's kind of easy because I have to cook anyway. So just documenting what I'm making. And that channel is bigger than this channel right now. And so I feel a little bit more of an obligation to produce content and put recipes out there because there are people who want to watch. And that's what I hope for this channel too, but it's smaller. I'm still dedicated to both. My other channel, it's what I started with, and I know I can be super consistent with that, and I want to be. And so we're doing good. We're doing good. And then monthly one vlog. Okay, so this must be different than my one video / podcast a week. Well, I guess we're back on track with one podcast a week. So one vlog monthly. So that could be both. I think there's a little overlap. Either a video or podcast a week, but that would prioritize getting a podcast out every week and then one vlog a month. And I have been doing at least one vlog a month. And again, that's just for fun, and that's super easy. That's easier than recording a recipe. You're literally just documenting your day. And I don't know if you guys find it entertaining, or if you guys who are listening to the podcast even watch the vlogs. I hope they're entertaining. I mean, they're pretty chill. They're nothing special. But that's kind of the vibe I like when I watch vlogs, just an everyday person doing their everyday things with some music in the background sometimes. So we'll see. And then this is making sense. And then one I'm Bringing Healthy Back podcast. So one I'm Bringing Healthy Back podcast. I wanted 2 to 4 recipes a month, with one vlog a month and one I'm Bringing Healthy Back podcast a month. So that's at least 2, 3, 4. So at least 4 videos a month, and that works out to 1 video a week. And wow, I wrote that a very interesting way. So I didn't really specify. I'm just like, make sure you're putting out 1 video, 1 piece of long form content every month. So long form is this YouTube video. It's not Reels. It's not TikToks. It's not YouTube Shorts. It is a long form video. And so I definitely have been doing that. And I don't know why, but it's less overwhelming than I thought it would be. And maybe it's just because I haven't been this is interesting. I haven't been forcing myself to always be editing a video when I'm at home in the evenings. And I typically edit at work during my lunch hour. And we're doing it. We're doing the thing, guys. And so, yeah, not staying up super late editing, which is kind of a better excuse than just scrolling on the socials. Anywho, so all in all, I set really attainable goals for this year. I think I'm doing at least 1 workout a week. That's what it's felt like the past month. But I'm still taking the dog for a walk every day, and that's a huge thing. And I have something that I'm gonna try going forward that you just have to keep your eye out for. Maybe I'll just say it here anyway. So earlier this year too, I was doing 100 push-ups a day, just to see what I could do. Just for myself. And that lasted for about a month, because that was what I wanted. I was like, let's do it for a month. And I saw, I don't know if you know, the Buff Unicorn. She is doing 100 push-ups for 100 days. And I kind of just wanted to challenge myself to that. And I'm not good at pushing myself physically. Whenever there's discomfort, I'm like, that's fine. Except with weightlifting. And so push-ups I'm not strong at, but I would like to be better at, especially getting to be able to do consistently unmodified push-ups. So we might document that. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. We have our other goals our other standards that we are doing pretty well at. We're just going to work harder at the workouts and cleaning the dishes every night that don't go in the dishwasher. So Let me know how your goals are going, how you're hitting your standards for this year. And again, leave a comment down below on what are you winning at? What are you going to be working at? And then everyone will cheer you on. So that's that. Thank you so much for being here today, and be sure to subscribe or follow for more content. I'll see you guys in the next video.